Howdy folks, Podium52, hope you are well. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the first three modifications that I think you should do to your new Harley Davidson touring model motorcycle. Alright, so let me start off by saying, I just got to have a disclaimer. These are my opinion on the top three things that are the most important to me, at least on my Harley Davidson touring model. This happens to be a 2021 Road Glide Limited, but I think it applies to all touring models. And also for you folks that are not Harley men and women and say, well, if you bought another bike with all the stuff on it, you wouldn't have to do that. I get it. You're preaching to the choir. I'm still going to do it. So, there's so many things that we can do to our motorcycle, no matter what brand it is, right? Whether you feel you have to or not, whether it's a need, a want, something you can afford, something you can, something you shouldn't do, all that stuff. There's a ton of stuff. From putting a new windshield on your motorcycle, from putting new slip-ons on your motorcycle, to exhaust systems, right? New mirrors. My favorite mirrors in the world, by the way. There's a ton of stuff. Seats. On Harley Davidson, there's stage kits. Changes you can make to the motor. Lights. We gotta have lights, new lights on the bike, right? Get a new bike, you gotta be able to be seen. There's a ton of things, and I know I'm forgetting some. Some people are putting new wheels on the front of their motorcycle. I mean, there's just a million things that we can do to our motorcycles if we choose to, right? To make them individual to us, right? Now, if that makes sense or not, totally different video, totally different conversation. So I will tell you, I did a top three modifications video about 2 years ago when I had a Harley Davidson Ultra Limited, a 2018 model. Some of you that follow the channel may remember that video a couple years back. But I really wanted to do it for the Road Glide and see if it was a little bit different, maybe freshen up the video, as well as really sharing my new thoughts, because one of the three has changed. So, in my opinion, the three must-have things, again, must-have is a relative term, but the three things that are important, at least to me, is number one is a change of the seat. Now, I've done multiple seat videos, from tall boys to the stock seat to the Mustang seat that I have on the bike now that I'm a huge fan of. I'll actually link that latest video in the description and show it at the end, so you can click on it at the end of this video and go right to it. To me, the seat is important, and the first modification or change to the motorcycle that I'm always going to make first. Now, when I got rid of my Ultra Limited and got this Road Glide, I switched the seat over. There's just no doubt about that. I was going to be a Mustang guy. But regardless of the seat, because there's a lot of good ones out there, to me, the stock seat just doesn't do it long term. The second thing that's important to me are handlebars. Now, depending on your size, how tall you are, how you sit on the bike, whether you're doing it for, maybe shoulder pain that you may have, maybe you have some physical issues that you want to make a change. Maybe it's because you like the way it looks. To me, the second one is a change of the handlebars. I know when I did that on my Ultra Limited years ago, I went up the street, turned around, and go, oh my God, I wish I did this a long time ago. A buddy of mine, Bronco Ride, just put some new ones on his Street Glide. And he's like, oh my God, I should have done this a long, long time ago because it makes a big difference. Now, I just bought this bike and, I'm committed to not modding it up. Yeah, right. And I've really thought about putting new bars on it because at 6'3", the stock bars really had my hands down here. So what I did, and again, if you follow the channel, you already know this, is before buying new bars, and I really was looking at 14-inch bars, I had the dealership roll the stock bars up. So these bars are really, in my mind, 12 inches, maybe 11.5 inch, something like that. Can't roll them any further, but I'll tell you what, it has made a huge difference at no cost to me, but I'm still not convinced that I'm not going to have to change these out. So the second thing to me is bars. All right, so the third one, in the past, when I did a video like this, was I believe I talked about the mirrors. Now, the mirrors are an accessory, but I believe they're a game changer. One, I like how they look. Two, I believe that I know I can see much better out of them. It'd have been easy to pick the windshield, or it'd have been easy to talk about custom dynamics lights because our safety and being seen is so critical. But after talking to more and more friends, and again, this is one of those, I don't know what I don't know, it's got to be suspension, right? There's so many people that talk about their Legend suspension, Progressive, is it Öhlins suspension. See, I don't know what I don't know, and I have started to do some research on all three of those, as well as getting some opinion from people that I trust. I would love to hear from one of you or all of you that have changed your suspension and have one of those, or something else that you would suggest me looking into. But I think the third thing has got to be the suspension. So for me, it's seat, bars, suspension. Are those the three that are important to you? I would love to know in the comments what you think I may be missing, what you think is the most important to you, because what's the most important to me from a mod to the motorcycle is different than you. This happens to be a newer motorcycle, so it has a 114 in it. It's real easy to talk about, okay, I've already put slip-ons on it, just go ahead and do a stage 1 or stage 2 or do this to the motor. But to me, that's not a priority, at least for this guy. So love to hear your take on that, folks. The 3 top modifications for my touring model Harley Davidson motorcycle. I'd like to hear yours. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you. Be safe out there. Be vigilant. Check on a friend. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.